Wow. Hey, I am live and hoping that the sound is good. Last time it was, but the time before it wasn't so good. But yeah, so today, Monday, the 7th of August, we are right in a very special time astrologically. It's called the Lion's Gate portal. It's quite a magical time. It's time for manifestation, if you like, of deep desires. And it's also a time when the planet Venus is retrograde, and Venus goes retrograde for 40 days. And what that means is that in relation to the Earth, Venus is over the sun and we can't see her. So she's gone into the underworld, and many legends talk about this. And of course, we know about Christ's 40 days in the desert. You know, all religions have a story, a narrative where somebody, key person, is put on trial, and the trial for us is emotional. So I wrote emotional freedom, not because I'm going to teach you emotional freedom technique, although that is a fantastic resource to change perspective on certain things emotionally. It's amazing, actually, if you look it up. I have plenty of colleagues who practice it. But I wanted to look at the concept of being free. And it might be that we want to be free of some kind of constraint, really. And it sort of puzzled me for a long time. People say that they want to be free, and I've often thought, what would you do if you really were free? And does it mean having nothing to do? Does it mean not having a job to go to? Does it mean not having pain in the world? Does it mean not having anxiety or worries in the world? What can we do to assuage some of those feelings that come up for us? So it might be that, that's a darker emotion like guilt or jealousy. There might be something like a life's purpose to do work with that particular thing that you want to be free of. Jealousy and judgment, say, could be handed down through the family, and you want to be free of that conditional way of thinking. Um, and it's a task for you. It's going to take a lot of willpower, application, change, etc., to be free of entrenched emotions. It might be that you've always been in the power of somebody, and therefore it's hard to come into your own power. But there are so many things that we can do. And I think that this starts with looking after the self-care. And as women, we're not always great at doing that. We're encouraged to. We're encouraged to get a good moisturizer and a good hair product and to wear nice clothes. But there can be a lot of emotion attached to that, a lot of guilt attached to that, a lot of how you might look in those clothes. Or, yeah, I mean, the dressing room mirror is horrendous. Clothes shopping can be a real trial if the lighting in that room is all wrong. So what can we do to free ourselves up from some of these constraints, these things that hold us, and in a natural health perspective, which is where I come from, I like to start with some self-care tips. So the things that, I would have talked about before, like skin brushing, is an action which has so many beneficial aspects to it. But it is also primarily an action of self-care. And I said to a friend yesterday who suffered a deep loss and grief, that in the coming weeks, as she organises probate and is the eldest in the family and the one who's going to be amongst the children, and the one that's going to be taking the most responsibility, that it's really important that she, in order to give herself some freedom, basically, is that she takes time when she books in to receive from somebody else. So she books in for a massage simply to receive for an hour every week, so that she has something that creates some balance because she's going to be doing an awful lot of giving, an awful lot of having to do in the coming weeks. And there's going to be a lot of pressure around that. And I said, you know, when it comes to the tensions that are already there amongst the siblings and the tensions that are going to escalate about, you know, funeral arrangements, etc., to try to attach the action of clearing, of freeing the space, of cleansing the space to an everyday action. So when you wash up, which you know you're going to do 2 or 3 times a day, unless you've got a dishwasher, but you know, if you're washing up 2 or 3 times a day, or maybe you're putting the kettle on to make a cup of tea, in that action, can you add in the concept, the feeling, the visualization that you are clearing space, that you're clearing away that tension, that you're clearing away the clutter, and so that the, you know, the action of washing up or making a cup of tea, whatever it is, becomes something that has a beneficial, if you like, ritual attached to it, that you feel better because you've created that freeing aspect. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the Australian bushflower essences because I use these a lot. They're readily available. They're available all over the world. So I know we have some watchers from other parts of the world. And they are very simply labeled. So they're combinations of bushflower essences. So the flower essences are a little easier to prescribe than homeopathy. I feel, and very readily available when it comes to, you know, going to a pharmacy or a health store. And the one that I just pulled out of the box, in fact, I'm going to pull out this one, which is a newer version of it with the new style of labels, is electro essence. So we are all exposed all day, every day to Wi-Fi, and it's increasingly difficult to find places that are free from Wi-Fi. And there are now some 19 studies that show that Wi-Fi interferes with our melatonin production. So if the Wi-Fi is on all night and we can't stay asleep or we can't get to sleep, it could be that we simply need to switch the Wi-Fi off to enhance our melatonin production. So we need to free up to clear the space of waveform radiation in order to be able to sleep, for instance. We could also take some electro essence, which is fantastic for people. I've got sunlight at this time of day shining on that, and I'm sitting in the light. See if I can get the angle of it. You can almost see electro essence there. So electro essence is a combination of flower essences to help clear the negative effects of waveform radiation. So it might be that you spend all day in front of a computer and you want to feel freer. Could be taking electro essence to help you with that. So I'm just going to pull these out of the box as we go. So I've got 2 pots of electro essence, one older than the other. They last for absolutely ages. And the way to take these is 7 drops AM and PM in a glass of water or directly under the tongue. So I'll just, because I've been sitting in here at the computer for an hour, and now I'm sitting chatting to you for half an hour, you can just do a little squirt of that. I didn't count out the drops, but I know how much of a pipette it is. The next one I've pulled out is confidescence. So confidescence is fantastic, as it says, for any aspect of a lack of confidence, or it might be that you're confident in one area and not in others. It's, I could give it to somebody of any age who wants a bit of a confidence boost. And I would recommend with this one, because we're talking about something more emotional. So if you're always working in Wi-Fi, for instance, you could always take electro essence. If you know, if you're somebody, you're working in an editing suite, you know, it could be something you just have in your water when you're working in that environment. Or you could use it for 2 to 4 weeks and you realize that you get less headaches or you're sleeping better as a result of using it, or you are you can concentrate more. So there are many things that we now know Wi-Fi can affect. But yeah, why not take that for a few weeks and see what changes? This one, we say with emotional things to generally take it for 2 weeks. So 7 drops twice a day for 2 weeks, and see how that is in terms of confidence. Or it could be that you take it before you go into a meeting or a presentation, or before you make a difficult phone call, or if you're simply having a wardrobe crisis. I have no idea what to wear today. Oh my goodness, I look terrible in this, I look terrible in that. Take some confidence, and see how you feel about your outfits. So yeah, another really lovely one. Um, this is one of my favorites. So I've got A to Z of boxes. So I'm doing A to M at the moment. This is one of my favorites. This is abundance. So very easy at times of hormonal change, coming up to periods or in menopause, to feel that you are less than, that you don't have enough energy, you don't have enough maybe it might be something that you're trying to achieve and you feel like you don't have enough talent or focus for it. Abundance is fantastic for bringing in abundance into your life. So it might be that you've been arguing with siblings, thinking about my friend, or in conflict with siblings. If they all took abundance, this probably would go much more smoothly. So wonderful for setbacks, wonderful to help you realize a project, complete a project, etc. And just try it. Just come into a more abundant place in the world. I love it. Emergency essence. This is like Rescue Remedy. Probably most of you have heard of Rescue Remedy, which is one of the Batch flower essences. It's the only combination that they do. And Rescue Remedy is used for panic, distress, accident, injury. A great one to take if you're flying on holiday for the summer and you're nervous about flying. Rescue Remedy would be good. Equally, emergency essence. I really like the Australian bush flower essences. I find they're more contemporary than the batch flower essences, and they're more readily available than some of the other flower essences that are on the planet. Most cultures have flower essences, but orchid essences and Alaskan essences and New Zealand essences aren't as readily available as these are. So emergency essence, a handbag remedy, one for panic, distress, waking at 3 in the morning in a panic, and not being able to get back to sleep. That could be a great choice. So this one, I've actually made up my own version of this. So if you can see the label, it says Boost Essence on it. And I've made up my own version because I have what's called the stock bottles. I have all the individual flower essences. These are all combinations that I'm talking about today. And this is a combination of another 8 or so remedies. And this one came through recently. So this one is it was generated during the pandemic, and it was generated to give people a boost, to give people the capacity to keep going. So we were told initially it was 3 weeks, flatten the curve, and 3 years later, some of us were still in lockdown. We were in the UK, and we're now, this is the first year when we are not in lockdown at all. Whereas at the beginning of 2022, I know it sounds crazy, but we were in lockdown till May, or some aspect of restrictions. So there was a lot of having to keep going, and you're not keeping going in a physical way so much as mentally, emotionally. So this is a great remedy for keeping going. And in that sense, if we're going to look at this as freedom, it allows you to be less, anxious, worried, overly engaged in the process. Yeah, really nice combination. This one is called Dynamis Essence. Now, Dynamis Essence is for feeling physically encumbered, sluggish, slow. Great remedy if your thyroid's low. Great remedy if your energy dips before the period and crashes. And so you might only use that for a few days. Usually for me, I'll put a few drops into a glass of water and sip it, thinking, oh, I'll take this for a few days because I need a bit of a lift. And actually, I'm going to put some in here. 7 drops in my water. And actually, after 2 or 3 doses, I'm usually feeling bouncy and back to normal. So yeah, maybe I should take it for 2 weeks and see what superhuman feels like. This one, if you've got any teenagers in the house, is adolescence. Absolutely love this for all aspects of adolescence, whether it's self-consciousness, over boisterousness, getting overly sexualized and creating a bit of teenagers that tag, so boys that graffiti, all sorts of things, adolescence. Any problems with your teens, give them adolescence. It's lovely, even if they can't sleep, there's some great remedies. If they can't focus at school, can't concentrate, there are some other remedies for concentration. There's one called Cognis Essence that I will have somewhere here. This one, keeping with the C's, is Calm and Clear. Calm and Clear is sort of anti-anxiety remedy, keeping steady, keeping clear while you're doing a particular period of work. So if you can't concentrate, if you've got brain fog, then I really like Cognis Essence, which must have slid into this side of things. Hopefully I'll find that in a minute, otherwise I'm going to have to make some more of that. Sorry, can't resist having a look now. Oh, maybe I have to make some Cognis Essence up. Oh no, there it is. So Cognis Essence is the one for brain fog. It's great if you are doing an exam, you need to concentrate, you're finding it difficult to concentrate, you're finding recall difficult, your memory is poor. There's a lovely remedy in this, or flower essence in this, called isopogon, which is it's one of the yellow flowers, and the yellow flowers tend to be for the intellect, for the brain. And when that flower the petals fall and the seed head remains, it's a grey seed head, and it's got the seeds inside it, but it's gone grey and it stays on the plant for a long time. And so it's a really good example of what we call the doctrine of signatures. It's like the seeds are inside, the memory's there, but you can't quite access it. The grey, once was golden haired, now grey haired, so a great remedy for dementia, for Alzheimer's, for supporting, forgetful elderly people. Wonderful one to add in. That's isopogon, a single remedy on its own, or the Cognis Essence. Calm and Clear, you might use this if you get flustered, and therefore you can't remember things. This will keep you steady in an exam. This will keep you steady, focused. I love this one when mums have new babies, and I say rub it into the soles of their feet during a nappy change. Then both mum gets it on her hand, baby gets it on their feet, and everybody calms down. Beautiful remedy. So that is all the A's and the E's and the B's and some C's. Here's a C, another C, creative essence. So this is to help you with creative project. If you want to sit down and write, and you need to free your mind of clutter in order to get on with the creative project in hand. So lots of really great things there. I love these combination essences. And I've done a whole workshop on them. We have got some of my workshops available in the hub, and they tend to be the menopause ones, but I do one. I'll put a link to it in the comments below. And that's on these combination essences. And if you were to get that, you'd get the handouts that come with it, where to buy them, how to use them, and all that kind of thing. And I go through all of them, which I might not have time to go through all of them today. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to pull out a really useful one, because most of us here are women. There is a men's essence, there is a male essence. That's a relatively new one and is great. It's a great essence for women who know that they're having to be overly masculine. So if you're a single mum and you've got to be mum and dad, if you are taking the kids somewhere on your own and it's feeling a bit of a challenge and you've got to, you've got to drive the car and carry the bags and blah, 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 and there isn't a guy around to do all that for you. Sometimes we can feel like we're overly masculine, and so nothing wrong with a woman taking some male essence. Sometimes women's hormones go really out of kilter at menopause and they get too many male hormones and I have a couple of clients for whom this has happened. Sex has become, like a driving force for them. And if you get spots as well, spots in male places, chin, where there would be a beard, um, chest, and the upper back, so basically where men would grow hair, if you're getting spots, around the chin, under the ears, it's a little bit too much of the male hormones going on. And we might actually balance that by giving male essence. Generally speaking, for women, I'm using women essence. So women essence is, I think it's about 8 of the flower essences in combination. Fantastic. Can be used at any time of a woman's cycle. Could be used all the way through menopause alongside other health choices. So you should say that about all of the flower essences, is that they are absolutely fine alongside other health choices that you might be making. So hopefully, if you're listening, you can come back, as you know, and you can take some notes. So, what you're looking for is, what is it that stands in my way? And if it is female hormones, then, you might be taking the woman essence. This is another one which is more about, although it's called purifying essence, and I do love it when somebody takes this and they're doing the 10-day cleanse with me, or they're doing there's a lighter cleanse that I work with. This is also good, though, when you look at the remedy and you read about it. This is good for clearing negative emotional thoughts. So if that's what's crowding your mind, if that's what's preventing you from being free, is that terrible comparison is the thief of joy. Social media rampaging out of kilter. Do you need abundance? Simply going to ask abundance to come into my life because I'm feeling less than. Um, or do I need to clear the mind of negative thoughts? And you might go from one to the other. So you might clear the mind and feel calmer, and there's less on your mind which is troubling you. Less negative emotions. It might be that negative emotions have come up about a particular person, a family member or a friend, and you just like, gosh, this is causing such a lot of negative headspace for me. This can be fantastic. The purifying essence to clear negative thoughts, things that are imprinted. I was fine until that person said that, and now I'm walking around thinking I must be doing this. This can be great, fantastic. And you can take these alongside herbs, alongside homeopathy, alongside mainstream medicine. They're absolutely fine to do that. There's no contraindication, really. So you might be that you start with purifying essence and you move on to abundance. You've cleared the negative headspace, and now I'm going to welcome in abundance. We've got combination essences for relationship. We've got combination essences for sexuality. So again, libido, menopause, libido can really crash. Libido for younger women can crash on the pill. Could be taking sexuality essence. It might be that, you're doing some work on relationship, or a relationship's being broken and you want to repair it. That can be fantastic. I've got this spray which somebody gave me. So they do also do sprays. The flower essences are a blend of alcohol and water, and the flower essences are put into that. These sprays that they have in their range. So if you're just joining us, it's the Australian Bush Flower Essence range. These can be really great for travel, for just a quick kind of boost. And these have got essential oils in as well. So you'll get a scent with these. So I've just sprayed a bit of sensuality essence on me. I have a very good friend who was moving house, and she'd cleared a lot of furniture, and there was a batch of these essences on the shelf, and I sort of wandered over to have a look, and it was all space clearing. And I laughed and just said to her, your house is empty and you're about to move. It's done a good job. So she gave me one of them that's over there, and that's a spray for space clearing. So again, you know, that idea of freeing up a space. A friend was talking to me the other day about a room in the house that has negative energy in it. You know, she said, I don't know if it's haunted or what, but it just never feels quite right in there. It easily gets cluttered. And so space clearing would be a fantastic essence for that. And I'm going to recommend she uses that. I was thinking about something like that. Um, After this, I'm going to send her a little photo of my space clearing essence. This one's great, meditation essence. So this is great for, you know, you're trying to meditate and failing. It's great. If you simply feel that an awful lot is going on and there's a lot of clutter around and you can't think straight, and I don't mean brain fog as in it's just my brain is full of a fog. I can't remember anything. I can't concentrate. That's different. If it's more, if there is a lot of clutter around, a lot of information, a lot of work to get through, meditation essence could be a great one to help you keep with the project in hand. So, you know, try and decide there between that calm and clear I showed you earlier and meditation essence. You know, do you need to sort of access your higher self, your skill set in that sort of way? Meditation essence could be great. So I often take meditation essence when I'm got a really busy client day. I've got back-to-back clients. I'm confident about my prescribing and my work, but I need to make sure that I stay clear of some of the chatter that can be in the client space. You know, clients are very good at filling up the space with a lot of chatter. That tells me a lot about the client. And so it's helpful, but it may prevent me from accessing and my channel, if you like, for remedies. So meditation essence is a favorite of mine to use. Just going to mention a couple of others. We have a wonderful travel essence, so very on topic if you are traveling this summer. I mentioned travel essence is more for the negative effects of, you know, jet travel, road travel. It might be weariness from travel, or it might be all the, you know, environmental factors that are rained down on us in an aeroplane and not enough oxygen to breathe and blah blah blah. Travel essence is great. So you might have that, and you might have calm and clear or emergency essence if you know you're a bit panicky about travel. You can put two together is what I'm saying. And lastly, this essence, which is quite good, I might take, because you know, usually we do these lives for sort of half an hour, depending on what we're doing, or what we're presenting. And I'm conscious I've talked a lot, but the transition essence is was really created for people passing over. But increasingly, you know, I use this and the individual essences in it for moving into a new phase in life. So sometimes it's difficult to let go of what was, and to welcome in the new. You know, so we might be talking about abundance again, but transition essence is fantastic for really moving forward and saying, I've done that, I've completed that. I'm ready to move into the next phase of my life. I'm ready to move on to a different part of the day. I'm ready. You know, you could take this if you've had a busy working day and you realize you haven't quite got time for a bite to eat properly and you're going out. So you could take this to just transition into that other you, which is social and outgoing and chat, chat, chat at the party. I'm not going to a party, but I'm just going to take some and see what happens. This would be an interesting one for your dreams as well. Dream Diaries did a workshop at the weekend on lucid dreaming, And I was thinking some of these flower essences could be fantastic for that. I don't want to have the busy dream about my work. I want to clear my mind. Might take some calm and clear my mind and allow that seed of inspiration to come in. So, yeah, lots of information there. I don't know if I can actually upload files to the file section, but I will put in a couple of places where you can get hold of the essences in the comments down below and ask me any questions. And I will also, what else did I say I was going to do? Something else I talked about earlier that I thought I'd put in the comment section, but I'll definitely, oh yeah, a link to my combination essences workshop as well. But I'll put in a couple of companies where you can get a discount on essences. And if you thought, oh, what was it she said about so and so, or you've got a situation that you think, oh, I wonder if they could help with that. Just pop it down in the comments. And if you are watching on catch up, put hashtag catch up or hashtag replay in the comments so that it keeps the videos live. That can be really helpful. And you can do that with all the videos. So hashtag replay, and it just keeps the video live for other people to look and learn. And yeah, great. So I'm going to leave you there. And yeah, as I say, please feel free to ask any questions. And have Sarah, don't worry, watch it on replay and ask me any questions. And I'm going to go, I'm looking after a friend's allotment, so I'm going to go and have a quick peek at that before the weather changes and sky goes dark. Hopefully, I'll see the moon tonight as well. So good. All right. Happy moon watching, all of you, and see you on the next one. Bye.